I hope Ben Affleck starts getting cocky now. It's like, yeah, you guys are talking all that crap about me, and now you guys want me to get an Oscar. Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. Argo, the story is so unbelievable, and yet it actually happened. The Iran hostage crisis happened between the late 70s and early 80s. Six Americans that were stuck in a U.S. embassy in Iran at the time that Americans wouldn't want to be in Iran because of rioting managed to escape the embassy and hide out with the Canadian ambassador and his wife. Now it's up to the CIA to get those six out of there before the Iranians find out that they're there. So it's up to Tony Mendez, played by Ben Affleck, to figure out a way to get them out of there. And this movie really is a race because the entire time they're working on this project, the Iranians are literally piecing everything together and figuring these things out. But back on the US side of things, a few ideas are thrown back and forth, and it's eventually decided that, hey, we can get them out of there by having them pose as a Canadian film crew that's filming this science fiction movie called Argo, which is essentially a Star Wars ripoff. Of course, it's not that easy though. Mendez has to go to Hollywood to make this thing look legit. There's a lot of comedy in this aspect of the film, and he ends up working with the late John Chambers and Ken Taylor, played respectively by John Goodman and Alan Arkin, as they go around town making deals. And the movie can't help but take some shots at Hollywood during this point of the film. But eventually things get really serious as Mendez makes his way back to Iran, and we see all of that planning played into effect greatly. Now, everyone is talking about how this is a shoo-in for Best Picture, Best Director, and maybe some odd nods for acting. And while I enjoyed the movie, part of me can't help but think, really? I mean, I wish I liked it enough to agree with all that. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a good movie. Like, Ben Affleck's directing is solid. The atmosphere in the movie is great. Like, it screamed 70s. The performances all around were great. John Goodman and Alan Arkin did great comedy. Bryan Cranston was great as a guy in the CIA helping out. Ben Affleck himself was wonderfully subdued. And the six people they were trying to get out were also good, and they had like a range of different personalities. And the movie was smart and tightly written, and it was paced perfectly. 2 hours was just like the perfect time for this movie. It's just that the movie didn't engage me as much as I wanted it to. I didn't feel all that much discomfort during the opening when you saw the rioters breaking into the embassy. I, but once Tony Mendez actually got into Iran, things definitely tensed up. It's just that it just wasn't as much as I wanted. Like, I wasn't getting the, oh, come on, come on, come on, I hope they can pull this off. Oh my god, they're right behind them. Ooh, they're so close. I hope they make it. I guess you could say I didn't get the thrills, and maybe it was because the movie lacked a fun. Maybe it was like an orchestral thing. Maybe a score would have helped for that. I'm not entirely sure. And for me, that's what made this a good movie as opposed to being a great one that's going to stay with me for the rest of the year. And again, I'm definitely not talking crap about the movie. Like, I really did enjoy it, which is why I'm giving this a 3.5 out of 5, which is a good score in my opinion. I don't know if it's just me though, because like some of the people in the theater were walking out talking about how tense it was, and I just really wanted to feel what they felt. So if this video ends up finding an audience, tell me what you thought of the movie. I welcome comments, and if you like this review, why not subscribe, and maybe you can get plenty more content.